Father George Sauls with the Harvard Catholic Center. I wonder if you've ever noticed how you get surprised when people take you around places. So in Harvard Square, you think to be told of the university, but actually people will take you right to the square and point you away from the front gate. And up in the air there on the third floor is a very funny window as of a fraudulent law firm. And it says, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. If you deconstruct that, it's Dewey, Cheatham, question mark, and Howe, exclamation point. And that's the humorous office of a very humorous show, the most famous show on National Public Radio, and for 30 years the most popular Car Talk, a call-in program for people with questions about cars. But it wouldn't simply stop with questions about cars, be talking about just about everything else with uproarious laughter in every direction. And especially about unreasonable people. A woman would call in and say, "You'd never believe what my dealer told me when I had took the car in to be repaired." Well, what do you mean? So whenever I would turn right, my driver's door would come open. You wouldn't believe what they told me. And Tom Gray would say, in chorus, "It's supposed to do that." And she said, "How did you know? It's supposed to do that." And similarly, how do you know you have a good mechanic? By the size of his boat. That's sort of an inverse proportion, obviously. But in a commentary on the human condition, it would in some ways outdo Sartre. If I could tell a story on myself. I had a wedding here, a lovely couple and fun family, and they had moved to the West Coast, and they called from California and asked, "Can we have the baptism over at St. Paul's and have all the family around?" And that indeed they had. They had 50 people, several generations and so on, and there was helping them get a picture with all the different cameras. There were two guys on the opposite sides of the 50 who were trading barbs and jokes with one another, and they really had great material. We then go over to Davio's for the reception, and they say, "Oh, come sit at our table." So I do. They get up to get the drinks, and I'm left with their parents, and so I get chatting with them. And so that would be the great-grandparents of the baby. And so to kill the time, I'm trying to think of something. So they're from Cambridge, East Cambridge. So I mentioned I heard on Car Talk, I heard a Brattle Street joke. Why do the Brattle Street crowd all drive BMWs? Answer: for the same reason they all have computer-operated wood-burning stoves, because they're so economical. So Tom Ray's mother asked me, "Do you know the two guys on that show?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you think I'm stupid?" "Tom and Ray." She said, "Well, that was Tom, that was Ray." So I realized, well, indeed I am stupid. I asked Tom when he came back, "Oh, would you come and address our grad students?" He said, "Father, that's my specialty, theology and rocket science." We're here doing this because his former home's across the street. Thinking of him, we still have Ray and his sister, thanks be to God. At the law school, we occasionally ask people to come and speak, and we've asked the justices to come and join us for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or hot chocolate with the pajamas and feet in them. And the first time we did, we got Justice Scalia right away. And so after a long breakfast and conversation, we're then breaking up and chatting. And there was something I was writing down for him. I took cards out of my pocket, and I had a holy card. I just done the funeral for Tom Magliazzi, God rest him. And so I said, "Do you know who this is?" And he says, "Oh, that's my favorite program." And then subsequently, I'm chatting with someone else, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's Justice Scalia. Again, "Can I have another one?" That's my most favorite program too. Amid the laughter, not just commentary on cars, but about families and generations and boyfriends and girlfriends, one really learns perspective. To really be concerned about the things that matter. You and I know people who seem to have all the answers, and in some ways we, very focused on our work up close, are that way too. But then a program like that is a real paradigm shift every week, and a great joy with all the laughter, helping you see everything in a new way. No longer looking at things, but focusing on what's much more important, life itself. God bless you.